We ready?
Yeah, tell us when, man.
All right, we'll open it up right now. Welcome to episode 7 of the Bare Necessities. On my far, all the way across from me here, I got Mitchell Mundy. Thanks for joining us, Mitchell. Next to Mitchell, we got Coleman Gerber. Next to Coleman, we got Brandon Oxley.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, Snake.
Absolutely.
This is my YouTube debut here. I appreciate you having me.
This is your first YouTube video,
This is the first time I've ever been on the YouTube.
The YouTube. So I don't really have too much else to kind of cover in the intro. We'll kind of move right into section 2. Section 2 is the topics, concerns, and just general discussions. This is normally where we
Open her up
and get her going, right? I'm just going to throw something out there. I mean, what's everybody got going on in their life right now? Anything interesting?
Coleman, what about you? You're an interesting guy.
Yeah, I am. I can lead this off. Not a whole lot going on right now. Just waiting for the weather to turn. We had some good weather last 2 weeks.
Golf season.
Yep. Trying to get better at golf. And that's not going too well, but we have fun out there.
Yeah.
Just working, and that's about it. Watching the Cardinals.
I'll tell you my biggest thing I got going on right now is it's about time to put out the crops in the garden. And I do have some of them out, but I realized the other day that I have a bigger rabbit problem than I thought. Really? So I'm going to have to do something about it, and that's actually my biggest concern every day throughout the day right now.
How big's your garden?
30 foot by 40 foot.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Extended it this year.
How do you think we can take care of him, Mitchie?
Well, I'm going to start with the fence, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to start relocating him.
We might have to turn to the final solution at that point. We might
I was going to say, is that legal?
Yeah, I don't think it's legal to shoot him in town.
I've already said too much.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah. So I'm kind of in the same boat, Snake. I've been working and playing golf and just trying to enjoy the nice days when we have them. But yeah, not too much going on right now.
All right.
What about you, Jake?
I'm the same stuff as you kind of mentioned. Golf, nice weather. Let's get out there a little bit. I'll kind of roll right into the first topic that I got. I kind of thought of this the other day because it may or may not have happened. You wake up and you got a horrible hangover. And you're pounding. Your head's just pounding. What's the food that you want when you wake up? When you wake up, you're like, I gotta have this because you think it's gonna make you feel better. It doesn't in the end, but
yeah. So for me, when I wake up in the morning, it seems like food is the last thing that I want because it makes me feel worse after I eat it. Right? I mean, I could eat a greasy meal. I could have like a piece of fried chicken or a country fried steak or something. And a minute after I consume that, I feel terrible. I mean,
really?
It does not help me. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but
I just start chugging water and take some Advil. I mean,
You probably don't really get them much because you set yourself up well the night before.
Yeah.
You'll always catch Mitchell at the end of the night pounding a
responsible.
Powerade Zero.
Or water.
Or a water.
Yeah. And I like to, if I can eat something the night before, because the next morning I'm usually not in the mood to eat. My I'm not one that's going to get too upset of a stomach, but it's not one that I'm not going to be lined up for a buffet or anything. But yeah.
I like pickle juice.
Really?
in the morning?
Yeah. You
Really?
wake up, you feel like crap and your stomach hurts and you down some pickle juice. I get in trouble because I take it right out of the jar and I get yelled at.
You know what I've been told, and I've not tested this, but the best solution for a hangover headache is get in the shower, turn it real cold, and just stand under it for a little bit.
I've done that. It's pretty good. I like it.
What's that do? Shock your body?
Well,
exactly.
You don't realize you have a hangover at that point because you're dealing with some cold water that's a lot worse than the hangover symptoms.
So you're forgetting.
You're forgetting your hangover. And it's the same deal with, like, in the summertime. Like, here, you can get in the pool, like, say at 10 o'clock after a night of drinking, you get in the pool, and it just sobers you up real quick.
I agree with that. The pool on a hot day the next day, and you just sweat it all out. That's...
Yeah.
You know the best solution, though, to this problem is when you can wake up with some buddies after a big night out in town or something, and you're all just miserable together, and you can just laugh about
Yeah.
it
Well, yeah.
and tell all the stupid ass stories from the night before.
The only problem with that one is whenever you got a 2, 3, 4 hour drive home.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
that's
terrible.
That just makes that so much worse. And you don't have pickle juice normally on you when you visit somewhere else.
You know what the worst thing with the hangover is? If you start to think about it. If you think about the hangover, it makes it 100 times worse. Yeah, I mean, you cannot think. You have to get your mind off of the hangover, because if you keep your mind on it, it's gonna exponentially increase.
One of our good friends, Tommy Wiseman in Corton, Indiana, he's as good as anybody as I've ever seen embracing a hangover, and that's his only approach to him. Is he'll just take it and he'll say, I'm gonna enjoy this, and
You know
I'll
somebody
be
else
damned
that's
if he
good at
doesn't.
that? Carson Mundy.
he's not bad.
Yeah. But as you mentioned, like the drive home definitely does suck if
That's
you go
awful.
somewhere. But you wake up that morning. I don't know how you guys are, but I just love getting out of town and finding the first Taco Bell and get you a big old breakfast burrito.
So that makes me
yours
feel
is
bad.
Taco Bell.
Well, yeah, but I don't really like if I'm at home. I probably just wouldn't eat. But one thing that I think is not rated high enough, which I'm not a big Coke drinker, but a big old iced Coke after a big night is
A little sweet treat after a big night of drinking. That could do you justice there. That's good.
And you guys know what? If you're Coleman, usually food's not your first thought. Your first thing when you get up after a big night is you usually got to get a towel and some Band-Aids.
You gotta clean that leg up a little bit.
I have been known to do that once or twice. Yeah.
Yeah, or 5 or 6 times.
What someone else got a little concern topic discussion point? I figured you guys might have some good ideas.
I got a lot of them. I'm just not sure which one I want to talk
Fire one
about.
off.
Fire on, man.
So I guess then I'll go ahead and start.
Well,
then.
what is it?
So it's got to go along with a little bit of a story, but I'll tell you here. So when you're in a big city or something, and you're walking down the street, and when a homeless person, is that politically correct enough? Is the YouTube going to cancel us? I don't know if there's another word I need to be using.
No, I select 18 and up, so we're good.
Well, anyway, so you're walking down the street in a big city, and a homeless person comes up to you because you know what they're wanting. They're wanting money. But they're always so nice at first. I mean, they know how to work it. They're not stupid. And, see, my problem is, and Lauren gets on me about this all the time, I can't ignore him. I got to talk to him, because if a guy comes up to me and says, hey, how you doing? I got to talk to him.
Yeah.
And where I'm going with this is we're in Chicago one time, and this nice guy, I'm not going to assume he was homeless, maybe just didn't have a chance to take a shower the
That's
last few
fortunate,
years.
maybe.
Yeah. But anyway, so he walks up to me, hey, buddy, how you doing? And pat me on the back. And, this is my first time in Chicago. I thought, damn, these guys are nice here. I'm about to make me a new friend. And he's saying, hey, how you doing? What are you doing here? And, well, I'm just here, first time visiting, looking at some stuff. Oh, you got to do this. You got to do that. I'm so happy you're here. We love having you guys. I thought, damn, this guy's actually pretty nice. And before I know it, hey, you got any money on you? And I
And
thought,
you gave it to him.
well, shit. And so I said, well, I'm not stupid. I knew this part was coming. But in these situations, I tend to dig myself a deeper hole. And at the time, Lauren, by this time, she's already hitting me on the shoulder, nudged me. You dumbass. Keep walking. Ignore him. And I thought, well, I can shut this down pretty quick. I don't have any cash in my wallet. I'll show him. Take out my wallet. I said, sorry, buddy. I just spent all my cash. I don't even have any on me. And I pulled it out, and I was 95% sure there wasn't, and I'll be damned. The weekend before, I'd gone to the casino, and the one time I get lucky, I had a few $100 in there. And I thought,
Did he scoop him out?
oh, he saw them.
Really?
I had it away.
Well, yeah, he showed him you.
And I thought, shit. And I give Lauren that look. I say, oh, I need help. I've dug myself too deep. But and turns out, I learned this, that you just veer off into the nearest store, and they won't follow you because they know that the store people call cops.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
So I learned that. But I guess what I'm getting at is I kind of know what most of your answers would be. I'm thinking you'd be the opposite of me. I don't think you'd have a problem ignoring somebody.
I could absolutely ignore him. I'm going to take Lauren's side on this one. I could walk right past. But at the same time, it depends on what I did that week. I mean, I try to do the random acts of kindness here and there, So if I hadn't done anything that week,
You have a limit on your random acts of
No, but
kindness?
I'm not going to give out a $100 bill 4 times a week. I can't do that.
Never get a $100 bill, dude.
Clearly.
Oh, what about you?
So
guys?
yeah, it depends the time of day you catch me. Like if I'm walking Chicago in the morning, I might give them a couple bucks. But if you catch me later in the evening, I mean, if I've had a couple beers in me, I have a different attitude. Yeah, I might give them 10, 20 bucks. I mean, yeah.
So,
how about you, Big C?
I know exactly where you're coming from because my dad does the same thing, and Mom plays the role of Lauren in that case. So many times
Just too
we've been
friendly.
on vacation or something, and Dad's never made a stranger, and sometimes it can lead to a little trouble if you're talking to the wrong person. But for me personally, I probably take off in those footsteps too. Like I do the same
You're a
thing.
Lauren.
You talk to him, you
Yeah,
ignore him.
I would talk to him.
Oh, you would? Okay,
Yeah,
opposite.
yeah.
Isn't that's exactly how I thought that would go? I figured Jake would say he ignored him, and these two would kind of talk to him. But there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's probably the smart thing to do because, as you can see, almost got me in some trouble before.
I'm going to kind of feed off of your story just a hair. I got a topic that might run right into this. I'm not going to mention any names, and this is an absolute complete random person, but it was at an event, and I walked up to someone, never met him before. I shook their hand, and it felt like a noodle. What do you do? And what's the protocol when you shake someone's hand? Whenever I shake someone's hand and it's a noodle, I immediately, unfortunately, feel a little differently.
Absolutely. And good handshake is a telltale sign of a respectable person, right? And if somebody has kind of a modest handshake or not very good one, you immediately think that they're not...
They don't care.
Well, you get those initial thoughts that this may not be a person that should be respected. I mean, you should respect everybody, but I don't know. What's your thoughts on it, guys?
I'd say the same thing.
Yeah.
One thing that I can relate to on that, and Brandon, you too, when we both wrestled, when you're about to wrestle a guy, I had kids that would come up, and I mean, it's like we're getting ready to have tea or something, and he puts his hand out like this. I thought, wow, I'm going to mop the floor with this kid. And then I've had times where I got a guy who's freaking
Ream your arm.
just breaks my hand. I thought, I might be in trouble here.
This guy means business, yeah.
I got my work cut out for me.
Now, one thing I have noticed, which I'm a huge fan of a strong handshake, but since COVID, you might kind of go in for a handshake and somebody might not. I mean, there's more awkward encounters with handshakes now. Because there for a while we were doing the elbow or the fist bump.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of go up to somebody, you're like, should I shake their hand? I was never a big elbow guy, but maybe I don't mind the bumps. I mean, I'll give them a bump, but
Fist bump, but I didn't care for the...
But you might not know what the person wants.
You're right, and you got to respect that. I mean, you don't know what they got going on. COVID does some weird stuff, so I get that.
It's an awkward situation, though, when you're going in for a handshake and somebody offers the elbow to you. It's a weird deal.
Or the fist bump versus the handshake where you both go like this for a
you
couple
do the
seconds.
turkey deal.
Yeah.
One of the first times someone did that little deal to me, this was right when COVID was getting going there. I've never seen it before. I didn't know what to do. I grabbed their elbow.
I bet that was awkward.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Marina.
Yeah, so my topic here is summertime festivities. As we're nearing the summer, what are you looking forward to? An example would be like, we're airing this on April 23rd, right? So we have, in just over a month, we have Memorial Day weekend with Indy 500. So that's an example. We have outdoor concerts. So one event I'm looking forward to is the Eric Church concert we're going to in St. Louis. I think that's going to be a blast. So
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Yeah. So start with you, Snake. What are you looking forward to in the summer?
I mean, every summer is my golf season. I bowl and I golf, and then obviously golf is, to me, I have more fun golfing than I do bowling. So my wife gets awfully mad at me because I golf about 4 to 5 days a week. But I mean, it's my hobby, and she knows that. And then in the winter, it's a little different, obviously. But as far as special events going, there's a few golf tournaments, stroke only parties
coming up here.
Obviously, shout out to Jake Mundy and Katie, Deering now, but will be Mundy, getting married.
Yeah,
that'll be fun. Just some stuff like that. I really don't have any. I'm not going to Cancun or nothing. I don't think. So
But yeah, it doesn't have to be like a specific event or anything. I'm just mentioning some things like if you like to water ski, or if you like to go out and go fishing, or play golf, like you
I
mentioned.
have never water skied before.
You haven't?
Never.
I have not either.
I've never even had
I
the
have before,
opportunity.
and I was horrible.
It's hard, isn't it?
For some people, I've seen other people, and it's easier than I'll get out. But
You know what's incredible? People that barefoot ski. You got to
Yeah.
be a hell of an athlete to barefoot
On the
ski.
water?
And you got to be oh yeah, they barefoot ski on the water. And I mean, that I could never in a million years imagine myself skiing or going fast enough on the water and then being able to pull myself up on my bare feet and ski. So yeah.
And the slalom.
Oh yeah, and one-legged.
It's
Yeah.
gotta hurt your feet, doesn't it?
Oh, it has to. Yeah.
I tell you what, if you're looking for some good skiing, and this plays into something I enjoy in the summer, which I don't have a boat, but I have some friends with boats, and I love getting out on boats. But Beaver Lake, they put on a clinic out there skiing. I mean,
Really?
you spend the night out there, got some buddies out there, wake up in the morning, and 7 o'clock in the morning, they are just ripping laps out there skiing. I mean,
7 in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, they
get out
are,
there
yeah.
early because the water's like calm
It's
at that
glass.
point.
Yeah, it's like glass.
That makes sense.
So these aren't guys that are going out in the lake to have a beer or two. They're,
No,
Oh, they
do.
are.
They-
At 7 in the morning, they're having beers,
Really?
but they're also skiing.
Well, I mean, they can get tore down the night. I mean, Beaver Lake, they're built different. They can get tore down the night before. They'll be out there. They will be out there at 7 o'clock the next morning just hammering the water.
You think you can get a DUI on a pair of jet skis?
You can driving a boat.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
they definitely
you're not
can.
going to get it on jet skis. On jet skis, you can, but
Not
on
skiing.
a water
Yeah,
skiing,
water
you're not, because
skiing,
you're not
yeah.
operating anything. If you
Well-
fall over, you're going to hurt yourself. You're not hurting anybody else.
This sounds like that's what their guys' hangover carry is
Yeah.
getting out there having what are they, hair of the dog and do a little water ski.
Yeah.
How about you, Mitchie? What's your
Well, I was actually
summertime?
going to say what Coleman just alluded to was we go on Patoka a lot with Lauren and her family, and they got family friends with boats, and they all tie them up, and we just sit out there and float around and have some beers and enjoy some fellowship, and that's as good of a way to spend a Sunday summer afternoon as you can.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
It sounds great, but I've never been invited out there for that.
Oh, you have, yeah. You just turn them down or just ignore them. So.
I tell you one thing, I couldn't agree more with what you just said, but I get the Sunday scaries even more when I'm out on that lake. I mean, it's opposite. Okay, you get a Sunday scaries normally, and it just rides real slow all Sunday, right? And then, but if I go out on the boat or something like that with one of my friends or something, it's like the morning of Sunday is better than Saturday.
Yeah.
But when you're out there, and you got about a half hour before you start to come in, those Sunday scaries go through the damn roof.
Yeah.
For me, no one likes to really, unless you guys might be a little different. Anyone like to actually love to go to the dentist? Like, hey, let's go. Yes, can't wait.
I don't
Nope.
like to go to the dentist, but I like the feeling my teeth have after going to the dentist.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So here's my topic. It's not necessarily the dentist specifically, but it could be the dentist or when you get done brushing your teeth. What is the worst drink you can drink that it tastes absolutely disgusting?
Orange
Gatorade.
juice.
Milk.
Mine's orange juice. I mean, you pop
It's going to be
some-
anything but sugar because
That's true.
Because when you're brushing your teeth, you're wanting to get all that sugar and stuff off. So if you all of a sudden put it back on, it's like
man, orange juice just makes
Yeah.
it's the nastiest thing in the world.
So
I
you
agree.
mean the worst thing for your teeth or the worst thing tasting? wise?
tasting.
Yeah, so like milk for me, I mean, I love drinking milk, but after putting mint toothpaste in my mouth, having a big ass glass of cold
Yeah.
milk,
That's gross.
that's sick. I mean,
It makes your cheeks hurt for
Oh,
a second.
shit.
I don't like going to the dentist, but what I do like about the dentist is it fluoride? What's the stuff they take
They
long?
Where you squish it or whatever.
No, it's
a long
real
Q-tip.
foamy. Yeah, it's a long
Yeah.
Q-tip, and they just scoop it out, and it's got like straw. They ask you if you want strawberry.
Oh,
or
that's fluoride.
fluoride. Yeah. So I like that, but now they don't. Apparently, insurance doesn't cover it. So,
Really?
$35
Yeah.
or something like that. No.
so I might get it every other time, which kind of has ruined the dentist for me. But whatever.
so you like the flavor of the fluoride?
Yeah, I always pick strawberry.
And they say you cannot have any water. You have to take that thing. It sucks it out.
Yeah.
Push it around.
And
Then
you
you
know
gotta
what they're
wait.
doing. You know what they're doing now, as if the dentist wasn't bad already. Ever since COVID, I don't know if your guys' dentists are, but they are making you swish around carbon monoxide.
Hydrogen peroxide. I've never once done that, Mitch.
He's gonna swish around carbon
monoxide there. It's
Carbon monoxide or hydrogen peroxide?
hydrogen peroxide.
I thought you put that on like cuts.
You do. That's
And you
why
put
they
it in
want
your
you to
mouth.
swish it around.
Oh
'cause
no, that's 91% or
Yeah.
something.
I don't know about that.
It may be a dumbed down version.
It
But
is pure.
yeah, I can't even put that on a little paper cut and I get upset.
Well, maybe that explains
It
why I
bubbles
stumble out of the
up.
dentist all the time.
Mitchell has to get a DD on the way home from the dentist after having
Well, talking about like a similar deal, when you go to the eye doctor, have you been to the eye doctor recently? Like when you get your eyes dilated, you should not be able to drive home because you can't.
supposed to.
You can.
They tell you 20 minutes.
Well, they
or
tell you
something.
20 minutes, but after 20 minutes, you sure as hell can't see the road good enough to drive. I mean, you might as well have had 15 beers driving home.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong.
Try going to the eye doctor after 15 beers.
Yeah.
Who does that? Do you do that?
No.
Have you tried that?
Next topic.
Big C. Big C.
No,
what
I've
you
never
got?
done.
So, I was scrolling through Facebook the other day, and I was really happy to see that the Selvin General Store is opening back up
Absolutely.
The what?
under new ownership. The Selvin General Store.
You've ever been there?
No,
It's in Selvin, big town of Selvin.
You probably don't know where Selvin's at, do you?
I've heard of it.
It's just west of Holland, between Holland and
Yellow
Linville.
blanks. Yellow.
Right,
It's,
right
it's,
there.
it's
Yellow
right
Banks.
next to Yellow Banks.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It's right by Interlakes, actually. So
So-
go ahead, Cole.
Used to.
Speaking of Holland, a big shout out because they mentioned me in their last podcast, the Wandering Dutchman.
Did they?
Yeah, shout out to them. Yeah.
shout out to the Wandering Dutchman.
guys.
They're good.
They're awesome.
The Wandering Dutchman.
I tell you, I love it when Mace gets going. Mace leans back and he starts laughing.
His
I
laugh
laugh
is-
every
it is.
time.
I listen to them a lot, and I have to, and I'm not complaining, but I got to turn it down every once in a while because he starts doing it. But it's hilarious.
Sorry.
I
We
tell you
did.
what, the Todd McComas interview they just did,
Excellent.
it was great.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was good.
But yeah, so Selvin Store, I guess it's opening back up. We used to go there. Breakfast, delicious. Lunch, for breakfast we always used to get biscuits and gravy or the breakfast sandwich, and it was always a treat, a real treat. And they're opening back up. But kind of my topic, so I'm excited about that one. But whenever we're traveling or even around here, like I always am more partial to like the hole in the wall, mom and pop style.
Yep.
Like that's where you're gonna get your best food, maybe your best atmosphere. So that's one that I really enjoy. I figured maybe we could go around here and say some place, hole in the wall, mom and pop that you really enjoy.
This guy, I mean, when he says this, he's not joking. We
No.
go on vacation somewhere, and he's just constantly looking for, like he says, a hole in the wall place.
Another
If
example.
anyone mentions any
Chain.
threat, yeah,
We're not
I'd
going
really
there.
like to go to some
Yeah.
hole in the wall.
Like Florida's a prime example. The best seafood is like a
hole
little
in the
like
wall.
And you have found some. I'll give you
Yeah,
that. You found
yeah.
some pretty good places.
So, I mean, like you said, the Selvin General Store, and I would totally 100% agree with that. But one that I'm thinking of other than the Selvin General Store, I mean, the New Boston Tavern. Have you ever been there?
I've heard a lot about it. My sister lives down in Evansville, so I've heard a lot about it. I've never been.
So the New Boston Tavern is, I mean, it's bigger than the Selvin General Store, but you can go in there and have breakfast, lunch. It's kind of the same deal as the Selvin General Store, but you walk out of there less than $10 and your belly is full. I mean, they have some good food. They have chicken, pork chops, anything you can think of. Like, I mean, I'm talking for like lunch and stuff or supper. But yeah, that New Boston Tavern is a very good place. I would recommend it to anybody.
I think I'm gonna not go food, but
That's fine.
But at the same time, I'm sure they serve finger food, right? The Corner Bar.
Oh,
The Corner Bar.
You can't beat the Corner Bar. Back in the college days, you make your way down to Franklin, and if you don't stop there, you're nuts because you get messed up. What are those? How big are the
Slim
The
Jim.
Slim
The
Jim?
Slim
I think
Jims.
it's like 32 ounces.
32
$3.
ounce beer for $3. You can't.
And you get $1 cheeseburgers.
Yes.
And that might only be honest. I think that might just be Tuesdays or Thursdays
But
or
still.
something. But we would go there. So intramurals at USI, we
They
would
got
always go to the
shuffleboard?
Corner Bar before our intramural games, get a few Slim Jims and some burgers, and
Go win a football game.
right. And we did. We almost got in trouble several times for maybe having a few too many Slim Jims on the intramural field. They didn't really like that.
Keep that in mind when you go to the dentist next time.
I'm surprised you like it down there, Snake, at the corner bar. I'm surprised because they're big Packer fans.
Yeah,
down there.
I know.
They got Packer stuff everywhere.
It's green and yellow everywhere. It's the most annoying thing ever. But I will say they're good people in there.
They're excellent people. And I've not had food there before, but I'm a fan of their beers in there.
Yep.
You know what I really like about the corner bar? I think we talked about this the other weekend. They're plywood floors.
Oh, it's
I
not.
don't know why, but I just love them. you get a little bounce to your step. And,
You get if you're wearing sandals and your sandal slips off, you get a nail in your foot or something.
well, that's if it
Or
doesn't
a big
stick
ass
to the
splinter.
ground.
or a splinter. Yeah.
That's if the sandal doesn't stick to the ground as you walk.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
All right, we kind of stopped hating on. We're taking them up and we're going back down.
well, hole in the wall. That's what it's about
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
But they
true.
also have a breathalyzer there that you can.
Okay, see, genuine people,
Yeah.
good people. They're looking out for you.
Well,
Oh yeah, nothing but kind words for the corner bar. And corner bar, if you're listening to this, we love you. All four of us, we could.
yeah.
I mean, we could go down there today and have a hell of a time.
We probably
So,
paid
yeah.
6 months worth of utilities in that place. Keep on moving unless someone's got a.
Well, I want to bring one more up
You
before.
scared the shit out of me.
So we have the bar crawl down on the west side, and we always go to
how
Zapp's
did I
and the
miss
St.
that?
Philip's Inn. So I
yeah.
thought you were gonna go there, Mitchie. I mean, the St. Philip's Inn. I wouldn't say Zapp's or the St. Philip's Inn is a hole in the wall, but those are fine establishments.
Yeah, they are.
Those places. I mean, you could spend days, weeks at a time going to those places. I mean, the west side of Evansville's got it going on, especially if you go to the St. Philip's area.
And you get the hole in
Some
the
fine
walls, yeah.
fine people there.
I cannot overstress how disappointed I am in myself for not thinking of that. I even went with an Evansville bar.
Yeah.
The Zapp's Tavern and St. Philip's Inn, I apologize, but those are two of my favorite bars. And like you said, we get the bar. I got a shirt for both of them. And one day I wore both shirts at the same time.
Wow.
And then I took the one off when we went to the other bar.
I wanna see if maybe Jake Mundy, Mitchell Mundy's brother here, could get this link to these taverns here and make them a part of our bar crawl and have it on the
Yeah.
TV when we're getting there and stuff. Have a little sponsorship.
Yeah, and they have given us some various things. They know us. When we tell them
Oh,
the bar
yeah.
crawl's coming, I mean, we take
Oh, they
30
know.
people there.
They know. All right.
So I have one more thing. It's
Yeah.
going to be quick here, but me and Mitchell and Brandon, we went on a trip to Dauphin Island, great place, last year, and we went down a day early, so we had a little time to spend. So we went on the Florida side and stopped at the Flora Bama Bar, which was awesome.
The lounge.
It's a lounge and package store,
Yeah.
I think is actually, but it's well known. I mean it has the hole in the wall feel. Definitely not a chain. But we got there on a Sunday morning, and they were having church service down there.
At the bar.
At the bar. They were.
And they had an open bar. They were getting up in the middle of church service, going over there and getting them
No.
blood.
Yeah.
I promise you.
The
Yep.
patrons.
Bloody Mary, a beer.
Highball. I got me a whiskey and Coke here. I'm gonna sit down and listen to this sermon. I mean,
It was interesting.
All right.
It was interesting.
I'm gonna admit something here. I don't go to church a whole hell of a lot. And I mean, when I say that, I don't mean at all. Like, not very often. Now, I'm not saying I don't believe in certain stuff, but I just don't believe I have to go to church, right?
Yeah.
That's me. Everyone I know understand. I respect everyone else's stuff. But you tell me you start putting some alcohol up with I might be there. I might be.
Now, they normally do have alcohol. It's just the wine and the Eucharist. Every once in a while, you'll see somebody go up there. They'll try to take a little bit bigger swig.
you don't see anybody here at the Huntingburg Catholic Church that's just kicking back and having a Seagrams tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
All right.
but it was weird. I mean, I've never seen anything like it, but I tip my cap to them because
Right.
it's cool.
Waves rolling in the background.
It's
Jesus
neat.
drank wine.
Yeah, you did. So I know we're out of time. We can carry on here, or we can take a break.
Yeah. I mean, I figured we'd take a little break here, and we'll get going into what I like to call the this or that section for section 3.
Yeah,
anyone
sounds
want to try?
Section 3.
That?
Section 3.
Do I say it too?
Don't cut that part
Yeah,
out.
please do.
Go open there.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
sound.
Excellent.
That was clear and crisp.
You know what that sounds like? It's like that power hour we do every time we get to journey.
Yeah. The classic rock power hour. That's excellent. Go ahead. Steve.
Section 3, the this or that section. I don't honestly have a whole lot of these. I figured we get stuck on some of them. So normally leave a little bit of time for this here, and then we'll roll into the last section. So boxers or briefs?
I don't know the difference.
Briefs.
Briefs.
Briefs. You said you don't know the,
I don't know the
difference between a
difference.
boxers and the briefs.
Nope.
Someone,
Yes, you do.
someone help me.
Okay, a boxer is loose. You don't have the package control, if you say. A brief is tighter. I mean, I wear boxer briefs. I wear boxer briefs. So they're tighter.
So I know. I guess I didn't know the term for them. I think that's.
Yeah.
I think my answer is briefs, but it's not the whitey tighty stuff.
No.
I mean, it still
Hell
goes down
no.
your leg,
No,
right?
they go down your leg.
Oh, then
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh, whitey ties.
And you know why? It's because like when you put jeans or something on and you pull them up, you don't want your underwear
Right.
getting
Oh,
rolled
right,
up.
I know.
And then
Exactly.
you're digging around down there, and it's just.
Yeah.
Now
You talk about getting chafed. You wear a pair of boxers and go on a run or something, or go to the beach. You're gonna be chafed like a son of a gun.
Yeah. One of these days, we're going to get turned around, though, where it's going to be one of those fashion things where if you're not wearing the whitey tidies,
Boxers are just basically another pair of pants, but smaller. So it's
Yeah.
like you don't have underwear on.
All right, here we go. SpongeBob or Patrick?
Pat.
You like Pat?
I like Pat. Yeah.
I'm going to go Patrick, too. I actually didn't think about the answer before I asked it.
Yeah, I'd say Patrick. SpongeBob's a little too feminine
He's
for me.
annoying, too, isn't he?
Yeah,
He is annoying.
he's a little too feminine.
I'd like to break the chain here and say SpongeBob, but I think I'm actually going to go Patrick too.
Patrick. I figured someone would have said Squidward.
I was gonna say,
I don't know if
you
you go
said
off
this or
script.
that.
There's another.
It's
too.
not this,
Okay,
that,
so-
or the other.
It can be.
No, it can be.
You
I
must-
would have said Squidward because
Squidward.
his kind of dull laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, his subtle comments are funny as hell.
And you know
I
the
mean,
producers did
oh,
that
yeah.
on purpose. You know they did it for the parents that have to watch that with their kids.
What about Gary the Snail?
I don't know about Gary.
He didn't
Snail.
say a whole lot.
He didn't say jack shit.
He just moped around.
Do you use a bar of soap or do you use the regular soap with a loofah?
I don't wear. I use Duke Cannon soap, bar of soap.
Bar?
Yep.
Did you just say loofah?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what it is,
Yeah.
and that's the problem.
Some people use
You
those.
use a loofah?
I have both. I've got the bar of soap and I don't use the loofah very
Don't
often.
tell me you
I
do
have,
too.
No, I have the liquid. This is
Yeah.
another. I
But
have
you
the
use a
liquid
towel.
soap.
You use a towel or something. Or a washcloth.
Well, just my hands. Just,
What? You put liquid soap on
On
your
your
hands
hands?
and then you wash your body.
Yeah. That's not weird.
You put soap on your hands.
Body soap?
Oh, body wash you put on your hands.
It doesn't matter.
But and then you
I've
just
done that before.
You don't use a wash rag?
No,
I've done it if I
will
don't have a wash rag, but
I will for like my face and stuff, but
yeah, your face, but
the rest of my body, I'll put it in my hands and lather it up, and that's not weird.
it's exactly what we thought.
and I love this. This is why I brought this up.
What do you mean it's not weird?
You put in your hands?
Lather
Just
it up in your-
normally you put it in your hands.
and then you rub yourself down?
You rub your ass crack with your hand.
I don't. I would not phrase it in that way that I rub myself down. But I'll
That's
lather.
what you do.
You lather yourself. No, what you're saying.
Yeah.
What you're saying is you lather yourself up. You lather your hands together, and then you rub
mean,
yourself down.
I'll
with
have a-
freaking hands.
I'll have a rag
There you
for
go.
certain areas, but
Well,
for others,
Why
it
would you use
sounds
a
like
rag
it's
for all
free game
areas?
for all of it. I mean,
I guess that's just how I was raised. I don't know. I've always done it.
Venture to say Danny did not.
It's a
teach
hell of
you
a
that.
lot better than using a loofah.
Or
FanDuel.
DraftKings. Or other.
I like the looks of FanDuel better, but my luck has ran out there. DraftKings is where I have my money at. So
Really?
I use Hard Rock Sports.
I heard that's something a lot of people
And you
are
know what I
switching
like
to that.
about it is it keeps you logged in. And that sounds very,
Yeah.
just so somebody can
very
steer your money.
meaningless.
Well, wait a minute,
Sounds
though.
meaningless. See,
no,
I knew he would hate this.
It's not meaningless because iPhones on FanDuel log you in with your face.
Well,
and that's the same thing.
yeah, and I have that. I have that feature too. I have
But
Google
it probably
Pixel.
doesn't work.
It works very well, and actually I have a fingerprint too. But when my fingers are dirty, I don't like to use
How
it.
do you unlock your phone?
I don't have a lock on my phone.
So I hate both of them just the same because I've lost money on both. So, but I would prefer, like Coleman said, I prefer the user interface of FanDuel probably a little better.
Mm-hmm.
I like PointsBet though. I like PointsBet. Have you ever used PointsBet?
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many
Yeah,
times are you gonna say points bet?
I've said it twice. So, or maybe 3. Don't quote me on that. I think I said 3.
White wine or red wine?
Red wine. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
I'm a dry wine drinker. I mean, I don't drink wine very much, but I'm a dry wine drinker.
Really?
Yeah. I like Cab. Cabernet is probably my go-to, right? So, but yeah, if I had to pick the 2, I would go with red wine.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way.
As long as it's not a dry wine. I'm not a big wine guy, but I just can't do the dry stuff.
Really?
It just doesn't make sense to me. You're drinking a liquid and it makes your mouth dry.
Well, it depends what I mean. I agree with Brandon. I mean, if you got a steak, it's where you go.
you know what?
That's where you go.
And I know you'll agree with me on this. I love going a nice Saturday afternoon, going to a winery and hanging out.
Yeah,
It's
that's
awesome.
good.
And just, a lot of them have their big I call it backyards. I don't know what else to say.
Patio.
Nice day.
Well, even then, but like there's one in Bloomington that I've been to, and it's 40 acres. They got trails back there, patches of
awesome.
grass to sit in, and
A lot of the awesome ones. There's a few around here. They will allow you to bring your own like cheese
Snacks.
boards, snacks and stuff. You can't beat that. If you can take your own small and make it yourself, charcuterie.
charcuterie board.
Max struggle. I struggle with Max.
Charcuterie. It's pronounced charcuterie.
I tell you what,
That's fun.
one thing, I've actually been to wine country in California.
Napa Valley.
And I'm not a big wine drinker, but just seeing the views out there, like what you're saying, you enjoy it for
It's the scenery.
and the outing, the social event of it. And
That should have been one of my summer activities. Yeah, I love
The
that.
winery?
Yeah,
Going to
that's
wineries,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you get a good sweet wine and a hot day, it'll cool you off.
yeah.
If you have the opportunity.
And I will say, I didn't answer the red or white yet.
Is
Either
that,
one.
is that you covering your ass?
Well, I would go red and probably dry, but a good batch of homemade wine.
That's sweet
It's
wine.
Okay.
delicious.
Yeah. I don't have that a whole lot. You got someone who gives it to you? Or?
Yeah. Colin Kissel has given me some.
Really?
It's-
Shout out to Colin Kiss.
Shout out.
That's good. I like wine.
Guys, I don't know what your next topic is on there, but we've now discussed SpongeBob, loofahs, and wine. So
Get ready for
I would
this
recommend something a little more, less feminine.
What about breasts or thighs? We're talking chicken. Breasts or thighs? I knew that was going to be right.
I hate to say it after the comment I just made, but I'm taking thighs.
I'm taking thighs, yeah.
I'm a big breast guy.
I'm going to move on and not answer that. Zoo or aquarium? If you have the opportunity.
Aquarium all day long.
I'll tell you what, one of my best stories ever, Brandon.
I know what you're talking about,
We
yeah.
were in
Is this a
accelerated.
long story?
No, it's 5 seconds. We're in accelerated summer school, and we're at the Newport Aquarium. They have that tunnel all around. It's glass, and you can see all your feet, everything. And we're sleeping in there. We brought sleeping bags, and the sharks are swimming under us as we're sleeping. One of our what do you call them, chaperones?
Chaperone, yeah.
I'll be damned. He slept in a damn suit.
Yeah, he slept in a suit. So we slept in we had, on this accelerated learning field trip, we slept in this tunnel, and our chaperone slept in a full suit. He had his jacket on and everything.
And he did not have that suit on that day. He put that on for bed.
Oh,
He
no,
slept
he
in
did
a
not.
suit.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Like
he
a
slept in
formal
a suit.
So this guy's got inside
And you
issue.
probably know him, but I'm not going to name
Right,
drop.
no, we don't
but
need to
yeah,
name
you
him.
probably know him.
That's okay. We don't need to name him. Does anyone else have a this or that they can think of off the top of their head? and I just saw something on my notes that sparked me. I'm not going to go straight to section 4 because we got a little bit of time.
Yeah,
here.
I have a couple of them, and this or that is kind of going to go to a topic of words that annoy you. And so, like, words or terms that annoy you. So, the first one that I can think of is cornhole versus bags. So, we went to Bloomington, and there were people that called cornhole, like we're used to here in southern Indiana, they called it bags. Have you ever heard of bags before? Mm-hmm. So, cornhole versus bags.
Me and Adam talked about this, and we got into it, yeah. I mean, we agreed. We just talked about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I call it cornhole.
Yeah, it's definitely cornhole. Yeah.
So, a half versus a handle. A half gallon of whiskey versus a handle of whiskey.
That was a big difference at IU, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't. There's other.
It's the same thing, though, right?
No, because there's other. I've seen fits with handles before.
Oh, okay.
So,
You can't just automatically say it's a
I
handle.
see what you're saying.
But yeah, they would say, I'm going to go get a handle of vodka.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, when I first got there, I was like, what in the world are they talking about? I've never heard of a handle in my life. And it was just a half gallon. And we soon got accustomed to
What
it being called
vodka has a handle? I'm trying to think.
Tito's. Tito's has a handle.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say some weird stuff up there in
They
Bloomington.
do. They do. They're a little
They're
weird.
a little off the wall up
Yeah.
there.
All right. If we don't have any other of this,
You have one.
wait a minute.
So
Wait a minute.
I'm kind of mixed on this, but so we have a decently large athletic game of your favorite team. Not like the Super Bowl or the national championship.
Like a Sweet 16 game?
Yeah, let's say a Sweet 16 game, which I would like to be there in person. But my question is, at home on your big TV where you can concentrate on the game, listen to the announcers, or be at the game to watch it.
I would.
Regular season game.
No, he's saying like a Sweet 16 game.
Or like a divisional round
Maybe,
of the
maybe not
NFL
even
playoffs.
Sweet 16. That would be pretty cool to be in person. But yeah, let's say that. Like a divisional round, maybe.
See, I guess it kind of depends. Like the Dolphins played in Buffalo. I wouldn't want to have been there. I'd just been heckled and get snowballs
I
thrown
mean,
at
you
me.
could really concentrate in your own confines. You turn the TV on, the people that you...
And I think it depends what venue you're at. Because some venues, they're just not good seats. What you're willing to pay is not going to get you a good seat.
And I love going to games in person,
So-
don't get me wrong, but...
One thing that came to my mind, like when you mentioned that, we went to that Thursday night game in Cincinnati, the Dolphins
See,
and
I
the
think
Bengals.
that'd be electric.
That was I would have much rather been there. That was one of the coolest sporting events I've ever been to in my life, and I had no involvement with either of those teams. I mean, because it was a Thursday night game, it was a whiteout in Cincinnati. The place was packed. And I mean, it was just a cool. It was loud. I mean, it was a cool environment.
I'm gonna throw a scenario out here because it's I don't remember which one you just said, but it's kind of the thing. I think it was you about the side scenario that swayed your decision. So I've been to a Packers-Bears game at Soldier Field. One of the best things. I never thought I'd top it. It was amazing. It was like 31 degrees. It was sleeting / snowing. And
In Chicago or Green Bay?
In Chicago.
Oh, that's right.
And it was probably 25, 30 mile an hour winds. When I stood up, my jeans cracked. That's how cold it was. I would go back because that game we lost, and it was still so energetic. It was so fun. So then next year, shout out to AB Broker. His wife Lisa has given us tickets or got us into some of these games or whatever. Well, she happened to get us into a pretty sweet deal. It was sweet tickets, believe it or not, hosted by Dr. Pepper. I'm not joking, I'm serious. And we got in that suite, and they had free food, free beer. It wasn't free. Somebody paid for it. Right. But the heat was on. The windows opened. Like, there was all glass windows looking at the field. The windows open. Keep in mind, this is also at Soldier Field. It was amazing. So those two experiences, I would go back and do a million times. If the Bears were going to play, I don't know, whatever, the Rams or something at Soldier Field, I'd rather stay home. I'd
So
rather. be at
what you're
home.
saying is there's some not nostalgia, but there's some whatever you want to call it.
It makes a difference.
The
Situation.
atmosphere,
Right,
situational.
Right.
I would say in my life I've been to probably 50 IU home games, and I mean I've seen a lot of really good teams play at Assembly Hall, and some of the I've seen some of the coolest games ever there. But the atmosphere of an NFL game is different than the atmosphere at a college basketball game. I feel, because especially a primetime game like that one we went to. I've never been to an event like that. I mean.
You talking about basketball or football?
Football. It was Thursday night football.
It was
Thursday night football crew down on the field.
So you think Thursday night football, when it's hype, two good teams playing? I shouldn't have said that. Two good teams playing, going at it. It's a good time. Is better than IU playing Michigan at IU.
And it could be
At Assembly
because.
Hall.
No. I'm with Coleman. No.
Let me preface this. I like football. I'm a fan of football more than I am basketball, so I could have a biased opinion on this.
Right.
But the atmosphere at that game, and I had no involvement in it. Granted, I'm an avid IU basketball fan, but that game we went to at Cincinnati was unlike anything I've been to. I mean, I've been to IU Purdue games. I've been to IU and Duke, IU and North Carolina. I mean, that game was incredible. It was.
I don't want to
Cincinnati.
get too hung up on this. That was a good little trivia. That sparked a lot of conversation on that one little liner. All right, so I think it is time to move to section 4.
Section 4.
4 on the golf course.
That was pretty good, actually. So for section 4 here, we're back. This is normally the joke of the day, and we had a specific individual call in. Mitchell over there had a great idea to get a hold of one of our buddies from Corydon, Indiana. His grandpa.
Well, our buddy's Tommy, but Mark is also our buddy.
Right, and I've actually never
He's
met
Tommy's
Mark.
grandpa, but I love Tommy, but if I had to save one of the two,
It's probably Mark.
I'm gonna have to think. I'll have to think on it.
Yeah, right.
Was that the joke?
So shout out to Tommy Wiseman for helping us out here. Went and did this recording out of his way for us, I believe, and hopefully this is a good joke. So I'm gonna play this here, and hopefully we get a good laugh out.
Corydon's getting a good rep today.
I
Good town.
agree.
It's a good town.
It's widely known in biblical terms that the first man and woman were Adam and Eve. But what is not very often known are the first words that Adam said to Eve. And what were those, you might ask? Adam said, "Stand back, Eve. I don't know how big this thing's going to get."
So I texted Tommy the other day. I said, we got to do this. I said, and now I've heard every joke in the book from Mark. And I've heard that one 5 times, and I still laugh just as hard every time. But I said, we got to find one that's somewhat appropriate.
The Bare Necessities wants to thank everyone for listening and watching our podcast. Podcasting is something we have wanted to try for a while and finally found a little time and equipment to get started. Hopefully we were able to work through some issues and topics, keep you thinking a bit, provide a couple laughs. The links will be provided on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. The handle is The Bare Necessities 101, or you can just search for The Bare Necessities 101 on YouTube.